Oh boy. Okay, we're not wasting any time. I know that people are filing in, but I want to make this fast so that when someone opens this video, all you're going to see is announcements, all right? You guys are getting the most upfront information right away because there are changes. Changes. Yes, I'm talking about Shrek 2. I'm talking about what are we going to change on this channel. Goals. Let's put goals right here at the forefront. Right? Everybody is striving to be their best. Meatball wants to be a golden roaring lion one day. Look at his mane, right? I would like to be the one-stop shop for the education that you guys are looking for, whether it be personal finance, passive income, or financial freedom. So this is the modus operandi. This is the goal of the channel. And now I have something important to announce. So I want you to once again, give me a little bit of patience. Let me walk through exactly what's going on, and so that I can tell you most important pieces of this announcement. So, number one, thank you. Right, 75,000 of you are currently subscribed. I cannot thank all of you enough. That is a massive amount of a stadium full of people. And even on your weekends, even on your days when the market is not open, you guys showed up, and I cannot be more grateful. So that's number one. Number two is that I would like to make you a promise, right? It's a goal of mine. I would like to make you a promise that when I present information, you will never again see me speak the information and then follow up with no analysis, right? This is a big bummer. Some of you have appreciated the fact that some of the DD presented has just been an audiobook version of the DD, right? That's okay. Right? But I cannot use that as an excuse to say that is what everybody wants. Right? People come to this channel for analysis. People come to this channel for Mr. Whiteboard, and we are continuing to upgrade. Right? So Mr. Whiteboard might be the beginning. Right? It's a little tactile. It's fun. Right? But it blocks Meatball. To be true. So you either have to look at Meatball or Mr. Whiteboard. The most important piece is that you have already started seeing the change right in front of you. Right? For the last week, you have likely seen that the DD has been spaced out with explanations, with bringing you up to speed in case you didn't have the right context. And most importantly, I've been working on my speech, right? I'm not going to keep talking like I'm running out of breath. I'm going to start breathing. You guys are going to notice important constructive changes, and I continue to welcome them. Come on in. Most important piece is that I want to involve you. So you might have noticed that I put out a little channel poll earlier, right? I put a little channel poll out yesterday in the community tab. It was a question that I wanted you guys to, come on, the announcements are not over yet, so don't go anywhere. AndrewMoMoney, did you know that I have a second channel? What should we use this channel for? And some of you were thinking 15-15, right? Upload 1 to 2 good exclusive financial education content, right? I agree. Another one of you says upload financial non-GME AMC content. I'd watch it, right? These are all both great suggestions. A good amount of you says let's get this one to 100K first before jumping on the next one and kind of spreading myself thin. I completely agree, which is why we are now bringing my promise to this channel with the very first Andrew Mo goal. Right? We've talked about moguls. We talked about having mo goals, and this is my very, very first goal. Right? Every single weekend, we are going to have one of you come on this channel and then tell us a goal that you want to accomplish by the end of the month. Yes. So right now, I have 4 full weeks to be able to accomplish my goal. And what is it? 100,000 subscribers by providing you guys the most consistent, the most excellent content based on the up and running DD, the research that other people do, giving them the full credit that they deserve, and expounding, never again giving you guys just the words on that DD and saying, okay, there's not enough time, right? You guys get it. You guys understand the context. No. I'm going to be providing the full analysis of what I think and shouting out from an objective standpoint. People think that this channel's too bullish on our stocks, AMC and GME, right? I couldn't even stop saying our golden boys, our stocks, right? We are going to become more objective here. This is the important piece, is that you guys are here to find opportunity, right? We are here to show you that there are not just high risk opportunities like GME and AMC. There are many, many different ways to bolster yourself in the financial world. I haven't even seen a single one of your live chats yet. That's because I wanted to make sure that people are getting the most straightforward explanation of this concept, this promise. That one, you are not going to see another DD from this channel that is just verbatim someone else's words without my input, without my objective take on the situation. And two, that we are going to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of April, right? Every single week. And here's the Google form that you guys can all fill out, right? One submission per person until I figure this out, so don't mess up your shot. At Andrew Mo Goals, Moguls achieving Mo Goals together. The only question here, and you can even add more context if you wanna, is what goal would you like to achieve by end of month? And the concept is kind of like a competitive game show. You tell me a lofty goal, a hard to reach goal, a story-driven goal that you want to finish by the end of the month. Quit smoking. Learn about Elliott wave theory, right? Get to 100,000 subscribers and make sure that you are providing the best kind of content out there. That's my goal. So I'm going to talk about this right here, okay? You guys know my business email, AndrewMoBusiness@gmail.com. What goal do I want to achieve by the end of this month? 100,000 subscribers on Andrew Mo Money channel, and never upload DD without my analysis on it. Tell us more context if you wanna. Nah, you don't have to. Submit, and I will specifically choose between these every single weekend, so that we have 4 people with increasingly difficult timelines, right? The first person, me, gets a whole 4 weeks before the end of April. And the next person gets 3 weeks. The next 2 weeks, the next 1 week. You can adjust your goal accordingly. Yeah, you could. If you originally submitted this form and said, I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z, then start doing that. And then by the 3rd week of this month, if I pick you, hopefully you've already done some of that, but you can adjust it if you haven't yet, because you weren't sure if you're going to be picked. That by the end of that month, all of the 4 of us that I've picked throughout the month will come back together and see whether or not we've reached our Mo goals, right? Mo goals, achieving our goals together. This is something that I legitimately thought of in the bathroom just now. So the little astronaut room, pretty good way to be able to get the juices flowing. So once more, I wanted to shout out just a really nice comment that one of my mods found. Andrew doesn't give enough confirmation bias on any stocks. These posters invest based on emotion and typically will end up losing their profits quickly because they will hound around for the next big thing based on someone else's information instead of DD on their own, only to lose sight on fundamentals which Andrew has been both learning and teaching. Also, Andrew is, from what this poster has seen, the only streamer that can host and ask the digging questions as opposed to the usual explain further. Also, the reason why multiple producers are reaching out to him versus others, the level-headedness, the information gathering, and the bias neutrality is what will lead to a larger audience watching. I do not want to let you down, okay? You guys have been asking for better content. Here is my promise to you. The form has been submitted. The die has been cast. I am going to now put this in the description of this video, and it's going to be there for all future live streams. If you want to be able to support this channel, you can drop a subscribe on it, but most importantly, just know that I'm listening to this, right? You guys want me to get to 100K first. So that is my goal for the end of April. And if you guys want to go check out that second channel to see what your fellow Mo Monkeys, your Moon Platoon members, are trying to achieve, it is going to be a competitive goal game show. Competitive goal game show. Okay? So, once again, as a reminder, we are not only going to start providing good, well-formulated financial education videos that are outside of just news, right? Today in particular, we're going to go through an introduction to, you guessed it, very simple technical analysis price patterns. I'm going to show you exactly how Investopedia covers it, right? We're going to go over the Elliott wave theory. It's going to be simple stuff. It's going to be really simple junk. Okay, and one of the first things that you should know is that this is still 100% the way to learn finances, right? With online free educational resources and walking through them with me. Exactly how you could have been doing research on AMC and GME yourself, but I'm really glad that you're coming along with me and having a gut check from someone who, once again, I cannot stress enough, It's just someone learning along with you, a smooth brain ape looking for a banana alongside with you. There's no reason that my opinion should be better than anyone else's, other than the fact that if you didn't do the research yet, you 100% should. Because I am the one digging through it each and every day, and I'm hopeful, so hopeful, that we come along the journey together. Okay, so once again, that was the announcement. You might notice that we have crispier quality already. Let's see how long this can last. And let's start that one-on-one goal. I want to start reading through your live chat. I cannot say how much I appreciate these people. Oh, they're tiny now. Well, I guess I'll have to fix this in a sec. Oh, wait, can I just control A? Oh, baby. And for now, but not for forever, I'll see you on the second channel and in the money. Okay, so that was the announcement. And now we're going to go straight into the technical analysis one-on-one. But how's it going, guys? How was all of that? I didn't read a single one of your comments yet, so let me go through it. Whew. Okay, let's see. Okay. So... Okay, you guys are just talking about going to the bathroom right now. Good morning, MoMoney Ape, says Corey Burke and Beef Supreme. That's a good name. Let's see. Ella says you should actually wait until people join the stream. Dude, don't worry, I'll clip that up. I wanted to make sure that the beginning of this stream is that full announcement, because it says important announcement up right in the description right there. Okay, so what I am going to do is to make sure that we build this in the top here. Let's see. Come on the show. Okay, let's see. Good morning, everyone. Smoking and joking here says you're welcome. That because I said thank you to every one of you. Mo money. Okay, let's see. All right, people are liking it. I'm just going through it and just making sure that if anybody has any questions here. All right. Andrew sounds excited. That makes me excited. Andrew Zedenmoyer. And from an Andrew to an Andrew. Pedro Reyes, welcome to the Meatball the Space Legends here. Holy moly, Pedro. Thank you so much for joining. Holy crud. Was I gonna cry? I don't think so. I was just trying to get really I was just starting somewhere. Let's see. Oh, get a camera that stops autofocusing on the smoke detector. I will start to fix this camera over the weekend. Joao Neto says, you're great and really humble. That's exactly what we need. Your take on things combined with great research. If I may give another advice, sometimes you can check other stocks. Yes, 100%. And that's something that I wanted to make. There's so much to cover. I think that video was really good in terms of covering like the biggest pieces. But I did want to say that I wanted to be able to start expanding the channel to more technical analyses here. Just in general, like being able to bring in financial ideas here. Okay, let's see. Love this idea, Andrew. I think that you've accomplished so much and have so much value to bring people in getting towards their personal professional goals. I appreciate that right now. Let's see. I want to hang out with my Andrew, says Krimmer. Heck yeah. This is just a good way to hang out with each other. Let's see now. What I could do... Okay, you know what? Actually, I should do this. I should make it like, tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Name, background, context, if you wanna. That'll make me, I'm assuming we're gonna have some volume here in that form, so we're gonna be able to, it's gonna be wild. Oh, you're my favorite YouTuber, says Nando. Nando and Pedro. Oh, the Reyeses are coming in here. Let's see. Love the channel, man. I really appreciate you streaming Bell to Bell, says Tyler Lisenby. Of course. Jody Stewart, good morning and great recalibration. I agree. Seb Kalk says, I found you 2 days ago, but dang, I'm hooked. Quality content. Happy Easter all the way from Sweden. Oh, what's going on? Happy Easter. All the Swedish I know are from swear words from PewDiePie when I was watching him as a kid. Let's see. Jeff Wadlow, welcome to the Moon Platoon. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. People are asking how to become a member. You either go down to Patreon and join there, or you can press the join button right next to the subscribe button. Okay, so we're going to go through introduction to technical analysis, right? We're also going to go through, like I said, right, some DD for your weekend, because there's all DD never sleeps. So the first thing that I'm going to do is do a quick run through here. My wife says you are hot, reminds her of her favorite actor. So am I your wife's boyfriend now is the question. If you guys don't understand that context, I'm trying to make less weird jokes. Your greed is hurting the economy. No. Good meme here. Bring on Ken Griffin. I think I might be in trouble if I bring on Ken Griffin. Corey Berg says, you've given my brain a ton of wrinkles over the last month. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. My birth control is my business. Stop with the ads. Okay. Okay, so yesterday we had some concerns that Goldstein was not confirming that the squeeze is still on. So let's make sure that you guys get that update, because yesterday Alexis Goldstein, senior policy advisor, person who had been part of the Occupy Wall Street movement, had been part of a lot of different movements, she was like, uh-oh, the people were possibly misconstruing that she was saying that the mother of all short squeezes won't happen. So that's an important note here. Warden Elite wrote this, sent it to me yesterday, so we do want to cover that. Renzel probably wants to talk about the AMA as well. Oh. Ever have doubts? We talked about 005 yesterday. Okay, so we're gonna go to all of those. We're gonna go through all of those DDs, but first, let's go through some introductory technical analysis. Really important to be able to wrinkle your brain on this real quick. Stovetop 77. Appreciate what you Meatball mods are doing to educate the masses. Are you planning to highlight the differences in TA between stocks and crypto? 100%. This is for stocks, right? Crypto we'll do maybe in a later session, and that is 100% a really important distinction. I like that. Thank you for that question. Santa Fe Mike says, a few of us are wondering if you were a buy and hold on the Glenfiddich 14, or if you're slowly dollar cost averaging out of it 1 dram at a time. I am 100% dollar cost averaging down 1 at a time. I'm a slow sipper. Hi. Michael seems to be submitting his story, which is great. So go ahead and submit that in the Google form down below. Come on the show. Come on the show. The competitive goal game show. I don't know what to call it yet, so I'm gonna call it the competitive goal game show. So, I think I'm gonna ask a couple more. Let's read a couple more of your questions, and then we're all set. Aw, happy Easter from Brooks Alberta. I appreciate that. I'm from Sweden, says Harry Bergman. A lot of Swedish people here. That's a good question. Zach, Wyoming. I'm assuming is what WY stands for. My question is, when the squeeze is happening, will you be providing your exit strategy to everyone? Yes, 100%. You guys will just watch me. I don't even know what exit strategy means right now, but when I do, you guys will see it. Can I get a little less blurry, please? Thank you. One of the things you might notice is that we have, we have a higher quality stream here. So you guys might have noticed that. I think. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look at it. Yeah, that stream looks higher quality. It's 1440 now, which is higher than before. So hopefully that looks nice. Give me some scissors in the chat if that looks good. Aw, Zero Boy is saying, thank you for introducing me to WeBull. It's amazing. I've also been using Yada for my savings account. Has great growth and weekly lottery to win money as well. Yes, I've heard the things about Yada. Maybe I should talk to Yada. Okay, so introductory to technical analysis price patterns. So the first thing you might notice is that there is, this is what TA stands for. Sometimes I have a series called TA for tomorrow, which is I give you guys, you know what, let's just start this video over. Hey guys, this is a brand new part of the 100,000 subscriber goal that we have for April, right? We're trying to get to 6 figures in subscribers on this channel, and this is the first part of it, which is providing you guys some simple technical analysis understanding. With the very first step, introduction to technical analysis price patterns on Investopedia. Yeah, this is a great, valid way to learn about technical price patterns and momentum-based analysis, as well as just being able to take the fundamentals out and just focus on the patterns themselves, right? Sometimes I say TA for tomorrow. That's the series where I give you guys my technical analysis. This is just what TA stands for. Technical analysis. Let's start from the very basics, right? And now that we are starting from the basics, the only thing that I ask is that you basically press that like button and press that subscribe button if you haven't yet already. Remember, we're on our way. We'd love to have you with us. All smoking or joking. Thank you for joining the Moon Platoon. That's because he pressed that join button next to the subscribe button. And away we go. In technical analysis, right, I'm going to verbatim be able to tell you exactly which pieces are the most important for me. And if you guys have any questions, as always, you are obligated to ask me either in the live chat or in the comment section, and I will get to them one at a time. This is like a live online lecture. Someone said this before. It's a live online lecture where students actually ask questions. In technical analysis, transitions between rising and falling trends are often signaled by price patterns. By definition, a price pattern is a recognizable configuration of price movements that is identified using a series of trend lines and/or curves. When a price pattern signals a change in trend direction, it is known as a reversal. And a continuation pattern occurs when the trend continues in the existing direction following a brief pause. This is a good time for a brief pause with Mr. Whiteboard. I was like wondering where Meatball is. He's at my feet right now. Oh, I get to show off his toys. So briefly, check this out. This is a puppuccino. Meatball, you want a puppuccino? Come on, go get it. Go get it, it's right there. Go get it, bud. He's coming. He's going. Puppuccino, man. Puppuccino. Get it. He has a better toy. It's a banana for an egg. Oh, one thing you might know about Meatball is that he doesn't like toys. So let's see. This is a banana with a bunch of monkeys on it. So, you like this? Oh my gosh, he's actually playing with this toy. Okay, here, you have the puppuccino. I'll have the Glenfiddich. So, people are like, get this man an eraser. I do have the eraser, but it's all the way over there on the refrigerator. So I'm gonna just do. This is so unfortunate because it's such a good diagram for cyclical FTDs. But away we go. Okay, so by definition, what's up, Weiler? Daily reminder: positive energy. Everyone ape strong. Oh, I appreciate that. So in technical analysis, there are patterns, right? In definition, there are price patterns that recognize the configuration of price movements. So trend lines. So we're eventually going to learn a trend line. Here is a sneak peek right? We are mainly focusing on two specific types of price points, either resistances or supports. And so the logical brain way of being able to explain this is that a lot of people are just guessing exactly where this price is actually going, right? And most of the time, people aren't going to be able to explain everything. And that's the most important piece, is that everyone is mostly just guessing, like kind of like entering a room and guessing the temperature of the room. That's why if you guys have seen this channel before, we've likely talked about resistances. For example, that's a resistance, right? That is a line where this stock has tried to go higher than, right? Let's say this is like $200 for GME, for example. For $200, the stock has tried to rise higher than that, but has been rejected, as in this is a reversal pattern, right? We've talked about there, right there. It has reversed and moved away from that pattern. However, you can consider that this here as a support, which is a line that the stock has been bounced off from, a price that the stock could not go lower than, then ultimately even supports can turn into resistances, right? If this stock tries to get higher than this level and then cannot, this is a change from a resistance to a support, right? But you guys can already identify continuations where trends continue upward, and reversals where points like this and points like this, where a stock is going down but then starts to move upward, or starts to move down and then starts to go move down and go back upward, or goes up and go back downward. So in the simplest way, this is generally how you identify patterns, and everything is an amalgamation of those specific patterns. Up and then down, down and then up. Okay, let's see the key takeaways. Oh, beautiful. How many key takeaways are there? Oh, that's it. 4 bullet points. That's it. Patterns are distinctive formations created by the movements of security prices on a chart and are foundation of technical analysis. All right, a pattern is identified by a line that connects common price points, such as closing prices or highs or lows during a specific period of time. You'll notice that with price and time series, right? A time series data type is something that flows and has context, kind of like natural language, in the sense that you have to have a full sentence make sense from the beginning to the end, right? And a price fluctuation from January to March is going to be different than one that's happened from April to May, for example. So that's really the only pieces to it. What kind of patterns do you see, and when did you see them? Technical analysts and chartists seek to identify patterns as a way to anticipate the future direction of a securities price, right? We're trying to predict what is going to happen next. And you'll soon notice that that's much more of an art than there is than a pure science, right? That's the most important piece, is that this is pattern based, right? Not fundamentals, not understanding exactly like what the value of the stock is and what kind of news catalysts we're looking for, just the patterns of the stocks. They can be as simple as trend lines and as complex as double head and shoulders formations. Now, I'm not even sure if that's the most complex example they can have, but for sure, right? We're almost getting through this together right here. Trend lines and technical analysis. Since price patterns are identified using a series of lines and curves, it's helpful to understand trend lines and how to draw them. Trend lines help technical analysts spot areas of support and resistance on a price chart. Trend lines are straight lines drawn on a chart by connecting a series of descending peaks or ascending troughs, right? So this is all of the similar channels that I draw from time to time based on how I see the momentum of a stock moving upward or downward. So we can see a little bit more about Investopedia defining this. A trend line that is angled up, or an uptrend line, occurs where prices are experiencing higher highs and higher lows. The uptrend line is drawn by connecting the ascending lows. Conversely, a trend line that is angled down, called a downtrend line, occurs when prices are experiencing lower highs and lower lows. All right, this is fairly straightforward, but again, we are going to explain it like we are ape. What's up, Zach, Wyoming? Zach WY, thank you for joining as a Moon Platoon member. Let's imagine that a stock is trending like this, right? And then maybe it has a rejected at a certain price and starts moving downward. Oftentimes you might notice that I start drawing a line based on its either its supports ascending or its resistances ascending. So I would start drawing a dotted line this way and say that this stock has actually gone through. I would then use Elliott wave theory and say how many subwaves and impulses, and then I would say this trend line would project going out to a certain price by a certain point, right? I might even over project and say that the line is actually going out to this way. This is where the danger could come from if this is a historical point of resistance, right? And I didn't see that based on a quick like momentary pattern analysis. This is where you can get into some serious trouble. So you do have to be able to connect all of the data points just in a larger standpoint. You usually have a macro view of the patterns and then a micro view of the patterns. And of course, this is a downtrend line. Okay. While there are different schools of thoughts, there was a literal question about this, I remember, and I couldn't have a chance to answer it, of whether to collect the bodies or the wicks of the candle. While there are different schools of thoughts regarding which part of the price bar should be used, the body of the candle and not the wicks above or below the candle body often represent where the majority of price action has occurred and therefore may provide a more accurate point on which to draw the trend line, especially on intraday charts where outliers, data points that fall well outside the normal range, may exist. As in data, in the exploratory data analysis process, right, the EDA process, that all analysts and scientists do have to do before they actually can build models with their data, we always trim outliers, right? We always do either imputation in a certain number of like normal ways, like mean imputation or median imputation, or we have to actually do some pattern matching, right? Do some k-nearest neighbors and see how closely is this point that's an outlier to another point, and then give that other point's value a weighted change to the outlier. As confusing as that sounds, the main point is that outliers normally are bad. However, if you don't have certain outliers that can test, let's give another example here. Let's say that you have a bunch of candles like this. So you have a candle like this. Hold on, I do have to actually think about what I want this to look like. So you have a candle like this, right? This basically just says that the most of the price action was here, and then at very small times, the price got all the way up here. However, that might be the price that we actually do care about. For example, if that was the actual price, and we treated the resistance to be here and ignored that actual the wick of that candle, that could actually give us a false sense of where the resistance actually is. Let's say that almost all of the data here supports that line of resistance except that one, right? So now you have a better understanding of that is the outlier that we can ignore. However, now if you go back in time and realize that this is actually like $200, like this was like $199, and this was a mental barrier here, you might actually get more context out of this if you do consider. So that's why there's two different schools of thoughts of do you consider the wicks or the bodies of the candle. Okay, I wonder how many more points we have here. So on daily charts, chartists often use closing prices rather than the highs or lows to draw trend lines, since the closing prices represents the traders and investors willing to hold a position overnight or over a weekend or market holiday, like the one that happened on Good Friday. Trend lines with 3 or more points are generally more valid than those based on only 2 points. That's with three-touch policy. We have to see the resistance or the support touch 3 times. That's a little bit easier to see. And once again, the closing price. That's what the SEC regulator said too, right? Back when she was pointing at the end of March. Closing price, that's the most important piece of the actual momentum technical pattern analysis here. Uptrends occur where prices are making higher highs. Hold on a sec. And higher lows. Uptrend lines connect at least 2 of the lows and show support levels below price. Downtrends occur where prices are making lower highs and lower lows. Downtrend lines connect at least 2 of the highs and indicate resistance levels above the price. Consolidation, or a sideways market, occurs where price is oscillating between a upper and lower range and between 2 parallel and often horizontal trend lines. So now that you have understood trends, I think we're actually going to, let me see how many more concepts there are, because I think that's a good place to cut that. Yeah, because there's so many more. Okay, so now that you understand that prices can go up or down, let us try and identify them in the actual charts themselves before we go any further. Because I would say AMC is one of the best ways to be able to see patterns. So let's try and give AMC our attention here. Let me put this here. Cool. So uptrends occur where prices are making higher highs and higher lows. So what we are looking at for uptrends for AMC, for example, right? This is a pretty steep uptrend here, but this one right here is a little bit of a softer uptrend here. We are seeing higher highs, right? The high that we had here was $10.90. We see it go up to $11.34. We're not using closing price because this is just within the day, right? We're looking at the 1 hour chart. However, if we take that, we say 1080, that goes to 1120, this goes to 1175. That is a ascending level of resistance. And then we see higher lows. So down here, we see 1050 moves up to 1080, moves up to 1116, right? This is a channel that you can kind of like see a fuzzy barrier around the price action and then follows it upward. So that is an uptrend on the intraday. And right here, you see a downtrend, right? Lower highs and lower lows, a descending level of resistance and support. You could have, the reason why I specifically say descending both is that you could have a descending one and continuous the other, and that would be a different pattern entirely. Now let's try to see one of one of consolidation here. So this is basically a textbook fantastic consolidation. The reason why AMC is such a tricky beast is that it oftentimes bounces between two very, very tight levels of resistance and support. So here we have a, 10-cent difference between this level of resistance and support. We have 1045 and we have 1035. And we see that this is an entire day in the market where AMC, except for a couple of outlier wicks, right, are just bouncing their candle bodies through these two levels of resistance and support almost the entire day. Right? This is not out of the ordinary for AMC. So some stocks consolidate more, and then we can look and build on what those patterns are for consolidation. So what did we learn again? We built out understanding exactly how a resistance and a support make the patterns make sense. And once again, if you guys don't understand how it psychologically makes sense, just think about the macro body of the traders that buy and sell a certain stock to be mostly the same, right? We talked about someone who is willing to let the price of the stock like sit there, either buying or selling over a long weekend where people have a chance to think and guess again. You're constantly guessing at a price that you have seen everyone decide it is overvalued at that price. So everyone sells at that price. That is a resistance. And tomorrow, that resistance is going to be a question in your brain again, right? Well, everyone sold at 200. Why wouldn't they sell again? Then you want to sell at 200 as well. It's a prisoner's dilemma at every single price point. The same opposite logic works for a support. You go down to $100, everyone buys, and you think, oh, everyone thinks the value of the price is undervalued at 100. And so you also will remember that for the next time. That's why resistance and support works. That's why these lines that I've drawn on AMC and GME will constantly be the ones that I refer back to, even after it hasn't seen it for weeks. Why? Because the same analysts and the same data scientists and the same traders have blocked out of those lines on their charts as well, because they see the patterns themselves. And two, because of that psychological mentality. If you guys understood that to an extent, drop a like on this video because you have now gained one extra wrinkle, level up. And if you want to understand more, because we have more patterns as well as more signals that you guys have not covered entirely through this article, go ahead and drop a subscribe, drop a bell button, and we will see you in the money after I show off some of my coolest friends supporting the show, Moon Platoon, Meatball the Space Legend, and the Gorillionaires. We'll see you in the money. I'm imagining that this is going to be several videos, so we'll start with that one. And now we're going to go through some of the news, especially with the Goldstein shenanigans that happened yesterday. Okay, let me just change this real quick. So let's see. Did Alexis Goldstein say no squeeze? Okay, let's answer that question right now. Okay, I haven't read many of your questions yet, so let me go through them real quick, and then we'll go over this. Okay, so this is not the right article. So this is the DTCC5, which we covered extensively yesterday. Okay, so about the AMA. Let's see Renzel's point of view first. What kind of questions do we have here? Can't see Meatball. Meatball, where'd you go? Oh, you're still on the ground. What you want? Go get it. Go. Get your puppuccino. Having trouble following the chat's narrative right now. One sec. Julian Sheets, thank you for joining the MoMonkey tier. It's because you pressed the that join button next to the subscribe button, didn't you? No descansas, hermano. Come on, buddy. Good boy. Meatball with his puppuccino. Okay. I'm going to try and make this a quick video as well. An options analysis response to Alex Goldstein. Warden. Alex Goldstein is her wife's boyfriend. This is actually pretty darn good. Because, well, I thought this was going to be a quickie, but the options analysis here is quite a good one here. And then let's just do this real quick. Goldstein confirms the squeeze is still on when she speaks about the GME volatility continuing. She also states that there will be another squeeze in the future because market makers are scared. That is all. Stop reading into it. The squeeze is happening even now. We are in it. Read the DD. Okay, this does seem like overly bullish. I want, like, it's okay if she says that she's not into it, right? You don't have to twist her words. So I don't like this post that's just like she said it's happening. So if you guys are missing the context, Alexis Goldstein yesterday at some point was like she doesn't think the mother of all short squeezes is actually going to happen. It seems like this poster with 12,000 upvotes is just saying that there is going to be another squeeze instead of the mother of all short squeezes. Whatever. It's a little bit of a yeah. It's just a what am I trying to say? It's just a nuance, right? Obviously. Lex Goldstein confirmed the squeeze is still on. It's flat out misinformation. I don't think anyone should be saying that. Yeah, I agree. Goldstein confirms the squeeze is still on is flat out misinformation. Don't twist her words just to change your narrative, right? It's okay if you don't agree with her. What is my master's degree in computational analysis? Julian Sheets just saw a tagline supposedly from Fidelity or FT. Archegos lost $110 billion in 5 days at 500% leverage. Now that's a lot of money. How much money is that? Let's see. So let's say you have $10,000. Fake money. I haven't had a chance to make the data visualization video, but it would have been like, how much money does Elon Musk spend? All the other stuff. One day. Look forward to that video. That's gonna be cool. I should have started that video with, hey guys, it's Moon Platoon here. I have a bunch of new goals coming out. Look at the money and stuff. But I didn't want to do cheap tricks, so that is the reason why. It's just gonna be straight up, cut up, 10 minutes of me talking about AndrewMo goals. Okay, so let's talk about Renzel, because I think Renzel can answer this question. Liability. Okay, hold on. Paper-handed. We have some people paper-hand. Let's look at some logical reasons why this might have been her response. Oh, okay, so here's the exact comments that people are talking about. I'm mapping out how to frame this video if I wanted to make a video about this. Oh, so she edited it. Here we go. I think the most important part is to just take her exact wording on this. The question from Mahi is, hi Alexis, and thank you for your time. I don't even know why I'm here chilling in WeBull if I'm just reading this here. Boom. It says, hi Alexis, thank you for your time. I'm super late in my question, but how did you end up on RGME in the first place? This place was created after WallStreetBets became compromised. Okay. I tried to post in WallStreetBets, but it was initially auto-flagged. I think GameStop volatility will continue because there's too many eyes on it and too many people with FOMO. Okay, did she change this? Did she change her? What happened to the her story that the squeeze is not going to happen? One sec. Okay, so we're gonna have a important test to this, right? Because the most important piece of it is that you understand exactly what kind of counter opinions there are. And so I'm reading comments and I'm like, why do people pump stocks on YouTube? And I'm literally talking about a person who is like kind of a voice for the crowd, and she said that the squeeze isn't coming. So right now I'm trying to make sense of it, but as of right now, if that's what her opinion is, I'm going to calibrate that in my brain. I'll be like, okay, let's digest that, right? But I'm not going to think that she is the only opinion that matters, and I'm also not going to think that she said that the squeeze is still on if she didn't, right? This is the objective way of thinking here. Aw, Food Platoon, what's going on, brother? I'm in and out of the stream. Did you say Goldstein is no longer hope for AMC and GME? Maybe I misheard, and my first YouTube will be May 1st. Oh, Food Platoon, I'm so excited. Let's see. Well, this is true. This is 100% the case. In fact, I think someone on Discord sent me a screenshot of that. Oh boy. Hold on. Who sent me that screenshot? Oh, sweet. Thank you so much, Harad, if you are listening right now, for sending me this picture. Or perhaps people are going to be mad, so maybe no thank you. But let's see. God, how do I show both of these at the same time? Guess I'm going to have to do this. So I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do this. Okay, so you guys are probably here to answer the question of what's happening about Alexis Goldstein. So this is a screenshot from Harad, 51 minutes ago, with Alexis Goldstein's actual response. So this is 51 minutes before she actually changed her answer here. So her current answer right now is, I think GameStop volatility will continue because there are just too many eyes on it, and I think too many people with FOMO. So that's her updated position, is that GameStop volatility will continue. At the same time, I don't think anybody even, do you personally believe that the MOASS is still to come? So her response is, I think GameStop volatility will continue because there's too many eyes on it. However, I don't think it's likely you'll see a giant short squeeze, if that's what you mean by mother of all short squeezes, right? Because no one wants to get caught on the other end of that again. Option premiums on GME implied volatility are still through the roof too, and I presume this will be going on for some time. Option sellers are going to demand a major premium for taking on risk of it going haywire again. And we have an options analysis response to that from Warden Elite himself. So we have plenty of stuff to cover here. That's why I want to be able to make sure that I am getting all of the thoughts out here. Oh, Meatball, you're covered. They covered your face. Look what they did to my boy. Okay, only the facts here. This is quite hot. I didn't want it to stream for this long this morning, but this is quite a hot topic. So after this, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be able to get a full picture of what's going on here, because this is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Say no. I'm not going to say no squeeze. I'm going to say no MOASS. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? Or do I have to keep turning my camera? Oh. This is the life we have to live now. Meatball. You see that? Elongate. Elongate. Please elongate. Elongate token. Who else is glad that Andrew does not chew? We do not chew. It's like, it's my house crest. Okay, I'm just trying to get ready. I'm trying to get my energy level up to cover this, because it's gonna be big. Okay. Some of you are going... Okay, one second. Moon Platoon. The truth is often stranger than fiction. One thing that I want to tell you right now is that of this video, you guys are here because you want to hear one person's opinion. One person's opinion that has already been changing throughout the course of 24 hours, and one person's opinion that is now going to be put into the magnifying glass, right? The title of this video is, Did Alexis Goldstein say no mother of all short squeezes? We're going to cover that. If you guys watch to the end of this video, you guys are going to see an objective, level-headed analysis of exactly what there is left to understand about her opinion and where there is to go from here, right? The most important piece of this channel is that it is objective, right? It gives you a sense of exactly what is happening with the historical news that you need to understand where to go from here. Dylan R, thank you for your super. I'm going to cover that in just a second, but we have Renzel talking about the Alexis Goldstein AMA, all right? Most importantly, you guys are probably wondering, what did she say? Well, right now, the post as it stands is as so. It's a question from a user called Mahi, and They specifically asked, do you personally believe the mother of all short squeezes is still to come? If that context is confusing, it means that we are looking for a unstoppable, very large, at the very least, in my opinion, quadruple digits for GME and AMC, both, right? Going up to upwards of $1,000 plus for a short selling, coerced buying, sorry, not selling, a coerced buying event where shorts have to cover recursively and with all at once after a margin call squeeze. That's the definition of a mother of all short squeezes. So now, as post stands, this is Don't Fight the Vol. She is Alexis Goldstein, and she was doing a very friendly, very nice of her AMA yesterday. The current answer here is slightly shorter than the one that she originally posted. And thank you to Harad for letting us see what that originally was. So let's take a quick peek at exactly what she said before. So this is an hour after it was posted. The question is, once again, do you believe that mother of all short squeezes is yet to come? She says, I tried to post in WallStreetBets and it was initially auto-flagged. In the meantime, some people suggested I post here instead. I have found all of you to be quite welcoming. I think GameStop volatility will continue, right? Ups and downs, because there are now just too many eyes on it and too many people with FOMO, fear of missing out. However, I don't think it's likely you'll see another giant short squeeze. That's what you mean by mother of all short squeezes, right? Because no one wants to get caught at the other end of that again. She means that just in terms of incentives, that it's unlikely that a Melvin or a Citadel is going to put themselves in a position of risk to have to pay and possibly go bankrupt, go out of existence. She thinks, in terms of what I can analyze from this opinion, that there is too much at stake here for the bad guys to let down their guard, right? Option premiums on GME implied volatility are still through the roof too, and I presume will be for some time. Option sellers are going to demand a major premium for taking on risk of it going haywire again. So this is another force in this equation that she thinks is not going to be able to take the risk of it going to a mother of all short squeezes. So this is her opinion. She has now changed it, and everyone is welcome to change their opinion, but I wanted you guys to have the context for this video. Now she has just put it as simply as she thinks volatility will continue, because there's a lot of people looking at it. Perception is king, right? I agree. Edit, she does not have a crystal ball. No one does. Anything could happen. Her best guess is that it's less likely you'll be caught into a giant short squeeze because the options market participants are afraid of getting caught on that side again. Okay, so this is basically the exact same except with a little quick edit. Option premiums imply volatility through the roof. Okay, so she took away her sentence that there is no mother of all short squeezes. She kept in the sentiment that there's not going to be another giant squeeze. In her opinion, it's going to be less likely. Okay, even the original question asker was edited and said, I appreciate it and respect her answer. Also agree with this person in that Alexis hasn't really familiarized herself with the GME. She didn't even know what the mother of all short squeezes meant, right? So which is definitely understandable. She doesn't have infinite amounts of time for us. What I'm saying is don't get depressed just because she doesn't believe in the mother of all short squeezes. Who of us did before reading the DD about it? Hodl. Okay, so it's a good time to remind you that we're just here objectively trying to analyze what is coming out here. And not only does friend of the show, Renzel, moderator on RGME, have thoughts about this, but we have Warden Elite sending me his analysis yesterday of a options analysis regarding what she said, specifically about implied volatility and the options chain itself. And why he believes that we are actually positioned for a short squeeze now better than we were in January. So we're seeing both sides, right? We're seeing someone who is a senior policy advisor, but perhaps she does not get caught up with the DD, for better or worse, right? Maybe she's busy, or maybe the DD that we're reading is too bullish. And this is the most important piece to understand, is that we are providing you objective information here. Nobody's trying to pump the stock. Nobody's trying to tell you to sell, buy, or hold. So once more, this is where we're going to go with both of these, right? This is quite a lengthy one, so we might actually skip through a good amount of it, but be sure that you understand what is going through this video. So Renzel's thoughts first. Hey everyone, I know I'm getting pinged. I thought of instead of replying to each and every one of those, I just post this. I will, however, keep it short as I'm not feeling well. Oh no, Renzo, feel better, please. So before we have some people paper hand, let's look at some logical reasons why this may have been her response. All right, we just saw her response. This is the same link that we just read. Liability. If she said, yes, 100% will happen, what do you think would happen? She's a financial expert, and the moment she would say something like that, you would have two different plays. Number one, she's a catalyst, and the firms will go after her, and I imagine a lot more other people are going to go after her as well, right? Scarier, legally stuff. Number two, she would say it, and it won't happen in the foreseeable future, and all the people invested in GME after she said it would happen could sue her for misleading people, right? This is why we are like building out a better channel. You guys heard that announcement already about how we are changing the channel forward. I'm not going to like verbatim tell you the news without giving you at the very least a piece of objective analysis from my side. And I agree with this like logical compartmentalization that Renzo is building here, right? We have many reasons why she does not want to be able to be a target, to be someone who is blindly saying this will happen, right? However, I do think that she made herself into a spokesperson, whether she wanted to or not, by coming onto this AMA, and then she had an obligation to, at the very least, not take a strong side on either side. And I think that it's not likely that her language was strong to this extent that it makes people feel more bearish than she might realize in her position. So that's why I'm going to take very, very careful and just explain to you my analysis of her thoughts, okay? Because I understand my position as well. Number three, people would hear a financial expert say this and they would FOMO in and cause a FOMO wave never seen before. And that's why we get scissors in the chat. We don't want this to happen, right? We don't want someone like in her position to say, yeah, it's going to happen. Then we get a bunch of paper hands in here who would just want to get in on the money, not the actual project, the goal, the big money that we actually all care about. Four, after GME, I don't think we would ever be in a situation like this ever again. Lots of people said this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I think they are right. If you look back on 2008, what did you think happened to Michael Burry? He was pestered for years by the SEC and FBI, as was everyone else who foresaw that happen. So can you think of a reason why both Mr. Kelleher and Ms. Goldstein may be careful with the words they use and write? Yeah, that is 100% the kind of situation that I have to think about all the time. Meatball is getting more focus from the autofocus than I am. I'm jealous. Go and do your own DD, right? There you go. So that's Renzo's idea. It's very, very good. It is essentially, what kind of options do you think she had, right? Do you think that she had the ability to be like, yeah, 100%? However, that is, once more, a easy way to play it off in your brain, right? And I don't want you to play it off in your brain. I want you to put it in your brain that Alexis Goldstein is not bullish on another short squeeze. Another mother of all short squeezes coming. But she does think that volatility will continue. Let's see what Warden Elite has to say, and then I applaud you guys for getting this far in this video. So thank you guys so much, and let's focus up and see a counter argument to why we are actually better positioned now than in January, right? Not financial advice, of course. Hey, it's Warden here. He spent his Friday night writing this article, sent it over to me. Very cool of him, so he's a boss. Let's talk about the gamma squeeze possibility. First off, she seemed to reference the same thing I referenced in the past. Options premiums on GME implied volatility are through the roof, right? And they assume they will be going on for some time. Option sellers are going to demand a major premium for taking on risk of it going haywire again. So these are her words. This is the main rhetoric for why a gamma squeeze cannot happen. For smooth brains, call options are extremely expensive because of high implied volatility. High IV leads to higher premiums. For a gamma squeeze to happen, you need to have you need to be able to buy lots of call options quickly and cheaply. Let's take out Mr. Whiteboard and explain this. What is implied volatility? What is the gamma squeeze? And why is a high IV unlikely to provide a gamma squeeze? The gamma squeeze we've covered so many times before, and it's the idea that you currently want to set a date and time for the stock movement. you want to be able to see what's going on in the chat here. Do not spam, guys. So a call option is the idea that currently the stock is like over here. Whoa, right? And you are drawing a line here to the x-axis. This is time. This is price. You're saying at some point the price of the stock is going to rise above this line before I get to this line. This is when the contract expires. And this is the strike price. Hey, we just figured out a call option. You are trying to get this price of the stock higher than this SP before the expiration date. Right, I'll call this ED. So now you understand that the crazier this graph is, I know a chart can't look like that, but the crazier it is, the higher chance it is that this actually happens, right? So with greater volatility, a person that sells you the option to be able to take this bet is going to charge more. So with less of these options being bought, there is going to be less chance that we have the snowball effect of being able to have a multiple call option. So now that you understand what that is, an individual call option, you can look at prices here as, oh, thank you so much, Eraser from the gods. So this is the options chain that we have seen multiple times, right? This is leading up to where these are all out of the money. Let's say, for example, so these are $200 call options, all the way up to $800 call options, right? As we start to roll over, if we have a good amount of calls, then we are going to start picking up price. And the people that, the most important piece of the gamma squeeze is that people are going to delta hedge. And by delta hedging, they are buying the stocks in advance so that they can sell it to you at this price point instead of waiting and then having to sell it to you at this price point, right? They can't take that much risk because, once again, of the high IV. They have to delta hedge. So they have to delta hedge. The volatility is crazy high. And now they are going, this is, if there's enough of these bars, all of these are call options. This is the option chain. Enough of this snow on the ground allows us to track further. And unfortunately, with this volatility and the high price of it, we're not going to have enough of these bars. So if smooth brain still needs a banana, just understand that right now the gamma squeeze needs cheap options. And we're not going to likely see that because who in their right mind is going to be accidentally having to pay for a gamma squeeze? The simplest way that I can explain it is, let's say that we are currently playing insurance, like insurance salesmen with crazy rock stars going to a hotel room. They're likely going to crash it. Who's going to want to pay for that insurance, right? The people selling contracts, they're going to charge through the roof. And just by that fact, we're likely not going to see a lot of rock stars trash a lot of hotel rooms because the insurance is going to be too expensive. Okay, we've actually seen significant IV crush this past week, right? IV is just it getting lower. Week after week, the IV has settled down and prices for calls has gotten cheaper. So what I just described was Alexis Goldstein's idea. And what Warden is trying to say is that IV is actually dropping since and getting cheaper and cheaper, which would allow us to be able to get more and more call options in that options chain. The Scion line, let's look at this little chart here. The Scion line at the bottom is implied volatility. Notice how it's going down over time. As you can see, we have settled back down to the IV from before the 224 climb. In fact, we've increased the price fourfold while decreasing IV. That is extremely impressive and evidence that bulls have very good control over the recent run-up. Okay, so we're going to skip a little bit, but that's the idea that IV is actually decreasing. Look at the data. They believe that bulls are building that launch pad and it is near completion. They believe that gamma squeeze is once again possible in the near future. Okay, so because IV is dropping, we need to see, once again, we're keeping our eye on that option chain every single day of the market. So if we start to see more and more snow on the ground for that snowball to roll through, that is a bullish sign for sure. Okay, I'm going to just try and dissect this here. Is the short interest still high? Alexis Goldstein also talked about this. She wants to stress that she doesn't have a crystal ball, right? We just read this. I think that enough shorts got burned that people are more cautious now than they were before, and anyone selling options on GME are demanding very high premiums for taking that risk. Makes sense. My thoughts are, how can you get burned if you haven't covered? Because we know that there's still so many shorts, so many short positions, not just naked shorts and covered shorts, but you can have a married put conversion, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can be short a stock, as in just holding a position that is inverse to a long position, right? So right now we are seeing retailers have an asymmetric opportunity. They lose nothing by holding, while the shorts lose from interest and options premium. So not only did Warden show us the IV in the beginning, but now that we now have data and psychology. It doesn't cost the retailers anything to hold from an actual like accounting standpoint. In money, out money, right? So if for you, you will have unrealized losses if the stock falls. You will have unrealized gains if the stock rises, but it doesn't cost you $1 to hold, is what Warden is trying to say. Let's see. He in fact believes that it's still extremely high, over 100%. We've talked about why that calculation is. Go check out some other videos down in this channel if you guys haven't yet already about why. Let's see. Why would they need to reset FTDs if SI is low? This is one of the most important videos that you need to understand. The FTD cyclicality, right? That's one of the newest videos that I uploaded. It's called like must watch if you have AMC or GME, the DTCC 005 rule. There, I explain exactly what the cyclical nature of FTDs are, and that was the beautiful little picture I had on this whiteboard before I erased it. So, RIP whiteboard. What about institutional ownership in the Bloomberg terminal? It shows before January, it was 194%, now it's 130%, right? So it's probably a little bit higher. I think they moved the 9 million shares to a different alias. Okay, so this is just a couple of afterthoughts here. Are long institutions still in it as retail holding, right? We've talked about the whales, short whales, because of the bad guys, right? The Citadel and the Melvins of the world, but also long whales, right? Who are the people that are the guardian angels for us? Let's try to find out. Retail has been FOMOing in, but with diamond hands. People aren't selling. The decrease in institutional ownership doesn't concern me because they see 64% gap was filled by retail in the recent run-up. So right here, he has drawn a very light red box here, and this run-up that he believes, starting all the way back, I'm gonna see if I can recognize this chart here. This is the gamma squeeze in March. Wow, I'm starting to really live, breathe, and eat this stuff. So he believes that this squeeze started off with retail buying in. We've seen his analysis before, and he still strongly believes that. So we own the float right now, according to this hypothesis, right? We are the whale. Let me see if there are any main points here. Possible catalyst in April, right? Likely that we are going to want to check this out here. They believe that there are plenty of catalysts coming in April. If you have the share recall, right? The same shares that are recalled will also happen to be shorted. Those shares must be covered and there will be a short squeeze. Okay, this sentence is a little bit simplistic. However, I understand where you're going for. Let's not forget about April 4th, 2020, during this last share recall, SI was high and the stock skyrocketed from $6 to $6 from a dip of $2.50. I believe if that kind of proportion happened again, right, like barely a 300% increase, people are not going to think that that's the mother of all short squeezes, but I understand the sentiment here, right? That there was a share recall basically around this exact time last year, and SI was high back then as well. Okay, let's see. Making some really good points, some excellent DD. Let's see. Plan to talk about statistics, variance, and comparing VWAP across exchanges on his Monday stream. Heck yeah! Well, I'm excited for that. If he also addresses some of the drama here, guys, apes do not fight apes. Make sure that you are being good to each other and go all the way up to the top of this. Give it a fat thumbs up. Hold on, give it a fat thumbs up and understand that all of these resources are going to be in the description below. If you guys have not yet seen the update video on what's going to happen on this channel, go check it out. We have some lofty goals. We have some important steps to cover. But at the end of the day, right, let me give you my 2 cents. Data is king. Data is 100% what we need to focus on here. None of us should ever be in a position where people are able to come up to us, disrespect us, and say, hey, you're pumping a stock that you don't know anything about. We know more about this stock than I think I know about like the craziest trivia that I know. More than I know about anime. More than I know about like D&D. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I know some random knowledge. And this is a stock that I know very, very well. So as we continue learning the fundamental research, right, we're starting to create those building blocks for you, being able to be a technical analysis trader like me, and be someone who is taking in objective sources and then playing around with those ideas. This channel is not only about AMC and GME, however, I know you guys are looking for that update, so thank you for staying all the way to the end for this lengthy but very important doubled look at what Alexis Goldstein says, what the logic behind that, thanks laid out by Renzel, and the data laid out by Warden. Warden and I are going to be working tirelessly over this weekend, talking over his DD and looking through a little bit more about what we should be preparing for market open on Monday. And I will see you here. We go bell to bell every single morning of the stock market open, and the next time that's going to be open, enjoy your long weekends, guys, is going to be on Monday. So once again, I really want to thank the people that make this show possible. If you want to see your name on here, I'm updating this list by Monday. So if you guys want to see your name on this end screen for a whole week, press that join button next to the subscribe button, or go ahead and check out the Patreon link down below. As always, for now, but not for forever, I will see you in the money. Peace. That's why I have to kind of like hype myself up, because I knew this was going to be a long one. Okay, I skipped a super from a long time ago. People have to remember that we have uncovered new data never seen before, and this is a new phenomenon for everyone, so people not digging it may not see it. Yes, that's important. Okay, let me go through and see exactly what everyone is asking here. Hold on. Who is she and why does she get off So who is she and why do we care? She's a senior policy advisor that talked in Congress as a testimonial witness. So yeah, we do care. Let's see. August Yellowbird. I have to balance 100% of the people who are like, I'm never gonna sell, and it doesn't matter what you tell me, and the people who are like, you're pumping the stock. This is what Alexis Goldstein said, right? She said that she doesn't believe a mother of all short squeezes is likely. So, unfortunately, that's the truth. If you don't like it, you don't have to follow her opinion. However, if you don't think that I'm objectively reporting the news here, you might be mistaken. Let's see. Emily P. Dillon. Hashtag Indie Rad Mama. Thank you for joining the Mo Monkey tier. That's amazing. What a good username. Hopefully I'm not missing anything today. Do I have any meetings? I really hope not. Did you read something fun?
No, someone's asking, what's your favorite anime?
What's my favorite anime? It's probably Fullmetal Alchemist.
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Okay, I don't have any email there. What time is it? 9:30?
Yeah.
I have a dentist appointment at 11, I thought? No, I have it at 1. Okay. Going to the dentist. Okay, let's see what kind of question you guys got. We are the one. Is being a data scientist just all about meetings? Being an analyst definitely is mostly meetings. As a data scientist, oftentimes you're doing a lot of scripting by yourself. So that's why I am able to juggle. That's a good question. I am able to juggle a lot of it because at the end of the day, I can be the one in my pajamas at like 9 p.m. all the way up to like the early morning if I wanted to. Okay. Incorrectly political, that's funny, says, "You're doing great, sir. It's a little disappointing to hear, but it makes sense. There's no way they'd let GME happen again." Boom, right? She's just talking about incentives. Renzel was talking about incentives of her. She was talking about incentives of others. It's about, like, what can you guys do to make this happen or not happen, and who is going to allow it to happen again, right? We can say how much we love that stonk, but at the end of the day, like, if we can't prove that it's going to actually happen, that like, we can start looking at data and we can start looking at incentives. And right now, someone is telling us that the incentives are not in the right place. Do I floss regularly? Not this week because I was waiting for the dentist. I guess I don't want to pretend like I floss all the time. I try to, though. Aviv Hadar, I really hope you realize that this is not a clickbait title. Like, I don't know how else to say the most important pieces of the news right now. Hey, Meatball, he was having a nightmare. Okay, once again, the title. I'm getting a little frustrated, guys. Come on, focus up here. Alexis Goldstein. I'm not sure how I can make this less of an important thing that you guys have to pay attention to. She says, however, I don't think it's likely you'll see another giant short squeeze. That's what you mean by mother ball short squeezes, right? Because no one wants to get caught on the other side of that again. There, she said it right there. Okay? You don't have to agree with her, but she did say it. You have to understand that piece. She didn't say there's not going to be a squeeze. She said there might not be a mother of all short squeezes, period. Okay. Sorry, got a little frustrated there. Let's see. At this point, I might not even say, did Alexis Goldstein say no MOASS? I might just say, why did Alexis Goldstein say no MOASS? Because she 100% did. She didn't rule out gamma squeezes. No, she was trying to. Once again, I feel like I didn't have to make this super clear, but she's saying options premiums IV are still through the roof too. So that means that she is bearish on the gamma squeeze. However, we just covered Warden saying that IV is actually higher than it was before, and that's good for the gamma squeeze. So there's two different opinions. But she's bearish on both the gamma squeeze as well as the mother of all short squeezes. And of course, yeah, she can't say it because she can't say how it happened because she'll incriminate herself. Jimbro TV. AMC thoughts for this month. Where do you think it might go yourself? AMC, I just don't see a ton of catalysts for in the future, right? If the catalyst that you are looking for is the same as GME, then yeah. DTCC005 applies for AMC as well, the cyclical nature of FTDs. DTC008 is going to be huge for AMC. All of these affect GME as well, right? So that's why we're covering it in the context of how they affect GME, but they also affect AMC. D. Gray says, I'll break your heart. Let's see. Harry says, what would be Alexis Goldstein's incentive to avoid a squeeze? It's about avoiding... I'm starting to notice that people are just coming here without seeing Renzel's update here. Liability. She's a catalyst and the firms will go after her. If she would say it, then it doesn't happen. People will sue her, right? People legitimately are getting litigated in this. You know that Roaring Kitty has gotten litigated, right? It's the exact same process. Chris West is like, show your position. Chris, if you go to almost any live stream, I have my positions straight up here. And this is something that is here. Tired of this. Sorry, I'm getting frustrated. Open up my account. There's my positions. AMC right there, GME right there. Happy? Dre Labs like, wait till I speak to the manager. Alex J. Chang. I'm actually a cryptocurrency data scientist, so I do have interest in crypto. However, I have to be careful what I say. What did you just read?
Stop giving the negative comments attention.
I know, I don't know.
It's not helpful.
I know.
Someone was like, is you gay? He has a mom, guys.
I have a mom, guys. Come on. My mom is right here in Chicago. Okay, so Meatball's chilling with his puppuccino. I think that's most of the... so let's end on some positive news, right? Ever have any doubts? 005. Oh, these are the stones. So this is the 801 is the power stone. This is actually a really good 50-second overview of... Has this been here this whole time? Please tell me this hasn't been here this whole time. This tiny disclaimer. Oh man, that would make me so upset. Oh no. Serious question though, what is your D&D character? It is a level 3 warlock chain lock, right? Pact of the Chain with an imp and level 17 sorcerer. Doesn't matter what kind, I'm partial to Divine Soul, so that allows you at level 11 to do ridiculous amounts of damage. And up to a level 11 you can just attack twice with an imp, thanks to Tasha's Cauldron. So let's see. The Great Leader says 100,000 stonk seems very unrealistic. If there's a float of let's say 2,000% of 50 mil stocks, that would be a total of 100 trillion, 5x the GDP of the US, right? We don't have to talk about realistics. We don't have to talk about price points, right? We just have to talk about what is the top and then sell from there. Don't sell on the way to the top. If you don't want to screw up the squeeze for other people. If you don't care and you're a greedy paper hand, you can. I don't know, I'm being a little salty here. You can sell at any point, right? The main point of it is that by having paper hands decide that they would rather have money instead of actually like making a stand here, they are going to screw up the squeeze in the future, and that's okay if that's one of you. But as of right now, that's the current Prisoner's Dilemma that goes on nonstop. Okay, let's finish this. Let's finish this guy. So, ever have any doubts? All the time. Post. Tell me more. Well, the DTC 005 practically confirms all the DD theories that have been posted. DTCC rules being enforced are the endgame. Let's do this really quick. I'm not going to clip this. I'm just going to show you guys. Take a breather real quick, okay? Remember the DTCC posting 005? This happened on April Fool's. It was not an April Fool's joke. Yeah, Dre Lab, thank you for this. Hopefully, since that was yesterday, that more or less confirms all the DD is cracking down on the tricks. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with all the DD, is cracking down with the tricks that shorters have been using to manipulate GME and the rest of the market. This rule is basically the start of the clock once in effect, because FTDs can no longer be reset, unless, of course, they figure out some other BS. Why is DTCC pushing out all of the very interesting rules all at once? Why did Citadel hire ex-CFTC chairman as their legal chief? Seems like they are amping up for this to go down. Let's go down. Let's go channel Inner Thanos. 003. We covered this a week and a half ago. DTCC knows someone or multiple entities are in deep and want constant updates. Right, Mind and Reality Stones. 004 is DTCC does not want to take the entire hit when things go south or any members default. That's the Space and the Soul Stone. 005 is a DTCC wants to stop the entities identified by 003 from continuing to dig a hole. Right, this is the Time Stone. So important because actually this is a great point. Is that this kind of just resets time, and now the DTCC is like no more time. Stop. The cyclical nature of FTDs. Oh, these are actually really good analogies. 801, DTCC wants the authority to snap the entities identified by 003 out of existence and get it over with. Power. Power. Notice how 005 will now affect the positions reported by 003. They work hand in hand because now their short position isn't as hidden and reported as much riskier. What happens when their position from 003 is too risky? Boom, 801 comes into play. This is why they doubt a catalyst like share recall or Orion Cone or anything other than the DTCC enforcing the rules will trigger the Motherball short squeezes. I completely agree. People are like, what are the catalysts for AMC? What are the catalysts for GME? Nothing matters outside of the DTCC, like enforcing these rules, right? Will they enforce the rules is the actual biggest question. They are writing the rules, so that's making us feel like they might enforce them. Why wouldn't they enforce them if they were writing them? These are the biggest questions for you. So once again, this is good news, but it's the same news as before. It just gives you a better understanding from yesterday of what the 005 actually means. Jimbro TV. I'm holding AMC over 11, and I'm down, hoping it comes back up. Diamond hands, baby. No paper hands here, but I have faith. Much love, man. Keep it up. Jimbro TV. Just understand that right now we're hoping that the DTCC is our hero, and we cannot guarantee it. But why would they be writing these if they weren't trying to enforce them? Keep a level head about this. The Bravest says, working in any form of public office can put you in legal risk. 100%. I totally agree. Dad Drew. That's fun. I will be doing it. I will be looking at ticker symbols tomorrow. So let me give you some announcements for what's going to happen tomorrow. We have the Mulligan brothers showing up tomorrow. They are the ones. I hope they're the Mulligan brothers. Hold on, let me check to make sure I'm not misquoting. Yes, Mulligan brothers. They are the Apes Together Strong documentary directors, and they are going to be here tomorrow talking about their vision. So make sure you guys come and tell us what is the vision for the documentary tomorrow. I also believe that who else was going to come tomorrow? At the very least, they're coming tomorrow. So that's that, and I'm excited for it. Let's see what the topics are. They sent me a topic 12 hours ago. They said how a company can be shorted through ETFs. Hold on, let me just share my screen here. Topics. So Finley Mulligan, okay, we've been going back and forth on what we think would be great for you to talk about. And as a start, here are some ideas. How a company can be shorted through ETFs. Explain beta and GME's insane beta. Explain what a gamma squeeze is and how that leads to a short squeeze. Anything else you'd like to talk about? Okay. Pretty simple stuff. So ultimately, I am auditioning for the role of Nicolas Cage in this documentary. If you guys haven't seen the history of swear words, that is pretty fun. But I would like to be Nicolas Cage. Do you think I would be a good one?
Give me a best impression right now.
Well, all Nicolas Cage says in that, what is a line that he says in Con Air or something? Maybe I can do that. But all he says in the documentary is swear words, so I can't say any of those. You don't want to hear my Nicolas Cage impression, but I am going to audition for that. So I would like to be the narrator for this documentary. And if you guys pester him enough when they show up tomorrow, they might make it happen. Just a joke. But, oh, Dre Labs, thank you so much for joining as a Mo Monkey. I appreciate it. And once more, we have some exciting stuff happening tomorrow and onwards. I know it's Easter, so have a good Mass. And we will be with the Mulligan Brothers, like, here. So the live stream will still be here, even if you guys can't make it here. In the time. Working 6 days this week, bro? Dude, I work every single day. Have you noticed that I've been uploading on the weekends? Impossible. Impossible. That work grind here. Let's see. Put the bunny back in the box. Put the bunny in the box.
No, it's put the bunny.
Put the bunny back
in the box.
In the box.
No, remember it's your barbecue.
It's your barbecue and it tastes good. Okay, that's my Nicolas Cage impression. Oh man, that's a good movie. I might watch that today. Okay, well, I think that's all I wanted to cover today. It's a weekend, and we just did a 1.5 hour run. We had, how many people show up here? 13,000 playbacks. I'd appreciate it if you guys consider smashing that like button. Right, we're almost at 1,000. If all of you pitch in, that could be up to 1,000. And the rest of the day is up to you. Continue learning. I'm going to clip up a couple of these videos, especially the one about the promise. So go ahead and use that Google Doc, and just so you know, first mover advantage here. Use that Google form down below if you want to be coming on the show and tell your story, right? So explain a little bit about the narrative. It's not necessary, but it does help me give some context into what you are hoping to be able to share on the second channel. As always, for now, but not for forever, I hope you have a really nice day. I hope you have a nice Easter. We'll see you in the money. Peace.